Like the mornings, early, 6 o'clock, between 6 and 7. I like that, especially in the summertime. I think it's wonderful. You get up, it's like the world is all fresh. I usually drink my coffee, read my newspaper, I check my emails, I write a list of what I have to do during the day and how I'm going to organize my day. I think that first you have to realize that design is a business, it's an industry. You have to, of course, focus on quality and design, but you have to also focus on your customers' needs. And one of the things I think is very useful for young designers is to learn about business thinking. Because just like we want to teach the business school about design thinking, I think also business thinking is very good for designer, because if you understand business thinking, you understand your client, then you can communicate with the client, you can tell him why design is good and why it's valuable and why he should invest in it. And you can do it in his language. You don't always have to talk about aesthetics or shape or beauty. You have to talk about something that he understands, that is good for his business. That's important. That's usually what is very hard. It's very seldom that you get a design project or an assignment from a client where you can solely prove that design was the only success factor. Usually it's a combination, because when companies are open-minded enough to invest in design, they're usually also open-minded to invest in market communication and a whole new business setup maybe, or the supporting the product with all the different things you can support success with. It's very difficult to isolate the design as the sole the success factor. They focus on one thing at a time. You have to understand that you have to multitask if you want a success for your product. You have to invest in the communication, in the after-sales support, in the distribution, in the support of the clerks in the shops, and design at the same time. All these things you have to, and also the internal organization, your staff, you have to communicate to them. Why are we doing this? Why is this important? Why is this going to give us success? Because if they don't understand it, how can they support the process and implement it in the company? They're used to business goes fast. You want success now and here, and therefore we want to have a quick fix. So you come in, you make some good design, and we will be successful. And they think that they don't understand that or realize that it's a long-term investment. It is very competitive. And as I said before, you have to speak a business language to a business person. You have to convince a business person to put his money in your business. And that's number one. The second thing is that we have to understand that designers, very often also young designers, they're very passionate about design. They have really high expectation of themselves, and they have the benefit of doubt. They suffer from the benefit of doubt, which is also a very good ability, because they always question themselves, oh, could I have done it better? Am I good enough? No, I want to be better. And if you convey this to your client, oh, maybe I'm not good enough, oh, maybe I could have done it better, no, my design is not the best in the world, it's not fantastic, then the client will not trust in you. But for a designer to go to a client and say, I'm the best, and what I give you is really quality, and it's really going to be good for you, and to be convincing on, it's against the personality and the mindset of designers. They are too modest, they're too hesitant to say that they're good, and because they feel they are bragging and that they are almost lying and not being genuine about it, And this is the difference between a designer and a sales and a marketing person. Because a sales and marketing person would easily come and say, this is the best, this is what is going to make your life and your business better. A designer doesn't do that. Well, that is of course very true, but there's two ways of looking at that. You can either accept that and say, oh no, I shouldn't even try, I shouldn't attempt because I don't have the experience yet. I will wait until I become very experienced and very old, and then it's too late, or you will never have the success. So you have to step out of that shyness. You will have to step out of your comfort zone and make a speech to your client in his language, in a way that he would understand, and do it with confidence, because that's going to convince the client that, wow, you're good for me. That went way too fast for me.